It's Thursday, I'm Mario, and no obnoxious intro for me this week, guys. I have too much to talk about and not enough time to do it. This week, I'm going to address my fellow geeks, answer the question, and do an all Marvel Comics review day. So on to the video. Steff, ever since I saw your video, I've been kind of jumpy, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you're going to jump out of a drawer, a pantry. Plus, I'm an Amazon.com junkie. I don't know if you're in one of those boxes, so I've resorted to stabbing the boxes. You have ruined some of my merchandise. That's diabolical, and I respect it. And yes, your cosplay skills will come into play. I mean, what if someone gets a wound? You could sew. You could sew the wound shut. So for sure, I am not underestimating you. The thing is, you're going to have to find me first. I am a master of disguise. Or did you forget my assortment of hats? Cue the hat montage. Chef hat. Who's Mario? I'm a giant elf. Pirate. Super Mario. Okay, this one might not work as well, and it basically offers a bullseye. But you get the gist. Point is, I have hats, and I can disguise myself. I'm sorry to hear about your allergies, Cooliovids. You could always live in a bubble. Then you'd be a superhero, Bubble Boy, or I mean Bubble Man. Luluco, I said I'd take you out first as a compliment. I feel you'd be my hardest competition, and if you could take out your hardest competitor first, you'd do that. Also, you asked for tips on how to get into Western comics, which I do have, but this video was running too long. So next week, look for a how to get into comics 101 type deal for me. It's a good idea, I just need enough time to address it, and I thank you for the video suggestions. If you guys want to see a kick-ass review of Hunger Games, I recommend Nikki's video, but not to address her. She last week tried to intimidate me with her impressive weaponry, which she did. But I felt turnabout is fair play. Now I'm going to show off my weapons. Batman bucket. And the contents of said Batman bucket, which include a pipe, a can opener, ooh, a button. I've been looking for that. Oh, sweet! Affy Taffy! Yes, score! Of course, I'm only half kidding. I do have actual ninja weapons lying around the house, like any good geek should. But even so, Nikki, me with my weapons against you with your weapons, which are formidable, I still feel I'd win because you have the hand-eye coordination of a blind, two left arm person with an inner-ear problem. So I say bring it. Okay, that was a little mean, I apologize. As offer of my apology, I found this cool My Little Pony Doctor Who pic that I will link below. And while I'm on the subject, no My Little Pony Geeks of the Week. No. Veto I say. Even though everybody has already picked a pony, I don't know any of the My Little Ponies, none. Is there a dragon? If there's a dragon pony, I will pick that one. And now, onto the question and answer portion of the video. This week, Steff asks, what do we look for in the comic book shop? Excellent question, Steff. Excellent. And the first thing I look for, before anything else, is a good variety of comics and trades. Ideally, I'd want them to have a fair amount of back issues, but before anything else, it's a good selection of new releases from both mainstream and indie comics. Nothing made me more upset or disappointed than going into a comic book shop and they don't have what I'm looking for. I'm not talking about that they sell out, because I'll live with that. I'm talking about they don't even carry the book that I'm looking for. Because then I have to go to another comic book shop, and they're not on every corner. And it becomes a hassle. And it should never ever be a hassle to go and buy comics. Like you, Steff, I've been lucky enough to find a comic book shop I like, but it's kind of out of my way, so I got a pull list. And I've gotten to know the owner, and I'll just call him, and he'll hold my comics or order any comic that I would like. I absolutely recommend any person who likes comics to get a pull list from their local comic book shop if they do it. If they don't, they should. That's like comic book 101. As for atmosphere, it can vary for me. I've been to some dungeon looking comic shops with the creepy guy at the register, and sometimes I like those comic book shops only because I usually get what I'm looking for. As long as I get what I'm looking for, I'm happy. I've been to the hipster ones, and it confuses me. I don't know if I should be ordering an espresso or looking at comics. But my favorite one, the best atmosphere for me, it's this friendly one and this really cool one where it has old issues on the wall, you know, old comic book issues on the wall, and the figures on display. One of my buddies used to run a comic book shop, and he literally cut a hole on the roof and had a replica of Wolverine's Weapon X arm with the one with the wires sticking out, like popping out with the claws. It was really freaking cool. His setup was sweet. Kind of makes me sad he shut down. Anyways, I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you have any more questions about comic book shops, let me know. I probably will touch upon this again on a later video. This week, I'll be reviewing Punisher issue number 9, written by Greg Rucka and art by Mirko Kolak. And in the entirety of the series, the Punisher has been pursuing a criminal organization known as the Exchange. In this particular issue, he discovers that Daredevil has in his possession a hard drive called the Omega Effect. The Exchange and other criminal factions want it, and now the Punisher is going to get involved. This is setting up for the crossover with Spider-Man and Daredevil starting next week, and I can't wait. The art is excellent by Kolak, especially the way he choreographs the scenes panel to panel. Words are not even needed. His art is crisp, clean, he understands the concept of less is more. Rucka's writing, as always, is top-notch. Not many can write a crime story like he can. I rate this a 4 stars. Finally, I'll be reviewing Daredevil issue 10, written by Mark Waid and art by Paulo Rivera. And this marks the conclusion of the short story arc of the Mole Man stealing coffins from under cemeteries, Daredevil stopping him, with the side story of the Omega Effect drive. As I stated previously, it's going to be the crossover with Spider-Man and Punisher. So is this book really as good as critics say? Yes, absolutely. Mark Waid's doing an extraordinary job. It's action, adventure, the right amount of humor with an interesting story. Not all plots have to be end-of-the-world type deals. Rivera's artwork is exquisite. The way he contrasts bright colors with dark without being obnoxious about it is downright a science. I'd recommend this issue alone on the cover. Just look at it. Look at the detail. It's probably going to be the cover of the year. For new readers, I'd recommend picking up the next issue of this, which came out yesterday. It's the perfect jumping on point. This is easily, hands down, the best superhero comic book out today. I rate this a 5 stars. That's it for me this week. Since I did an all Marvel comic book review day, I will be doing an all DC and then perhaps all indie in the near future. So look for that. As always, let me know what you think of my reviews, agree or disagree, or if you have any suggestions or requests. Comment, subscribe, or comment but don't subscribe, or subscribe but don't comment. But do one or the other. I mean, don't be all lazy on the internet. Who's heard of lazy people on the internet? That's just unheard of. As always, check out the other Geeks of the Week's videos. They are much better than mine. They're basically carrying me right now. And if I will be back next week, unless the other geeks finally get me. And if they do, please avenge me. Avenge me. So I'll see you guys next week.